Hey, my name is Opai Senpai, and I am here today with a special guest. You do the intro, bro.
Alrighty, guys, it is Qaaman here today.
Hey, Aquaman here. Everybody, refresh the page. If you can't see the stream, just refresh and we'll see it. So, guys, Quaman, he is a YouTuber who covers a lot of Dragon Ball content, and we're gonna talk more about him in a moment. But before that, let me just show you guys the preview for episode 55 English dub. Since that is kind of one of the major topics of this video, we're also going to talk about episode 56, 57, and beyond. And this is more going to be like a fun video. So here we go. Enjoy the preview for episode 55. Here we go, guys.
Next time on Dragon Ball Super, the Omni King is back and he has a special job for Goku. Zamasu gives up the Vator earrings because evil has consumed him. A new god appears, and his belt represents the kanji word for grand. Prepare to phangasm, because the Multiverse Tournament is almost here. We will see you in 2 weeks, and don't forget to subscribe to Anime Live Reactions for more English dubs.
Alrighty, guys. So that was the preview for episode 55. Are you excited, bro? Which is not happening this weekend, apparently.
Yeah, the funny thing is, Opie, I think it's really interesting because when I saw episode 55, what kind of took me off guard was the whole little Kid Whis looking thing, and I definitely think that that's going to add somewhat towards what might potentially come think up it's with really interesting tournament arc with the whole omniversal thing that the Omni King set up. The whole little
Right. Yeah, I agree. That's definitely took me off guard as well. It's gonna be very interesting to see that, and we're definitely gonna talk about that. We have around 600 something people watching the stream right now, which is a good number. And guys, disclaimer: this is a fun video. We're gonna use as much evidence as we have, but we're also just gonna go into our kind of what we want to see from the next few episodes. Some fandom, some theories. It's gonna be a good time. And you guys feel free at any time to interrupt us by clicking in the description below and submitting your question. And also, you guys, make sure you subscribe to Qaaman, especially if you enjoyed this stream. You got to hit that subscribe button. He does a lot of Dragon Ball reviews. He does some where he takes a topic and then he makes a whole 5-10 minute video about it. What's one of your best videos, Qaaman?
Well, I guess the hardest worked video I ever did would probably be my alternate timeline theory, in which I kind of devised the 4 hidden timelines of the Dragon Ball universe.
Whoa. I'm gonna put a link to that video in the description below, guys. So make sure you tune in after the stream and you're gonna watch that video. But yeah, that sounds really interesting. But all right, let's begin. Episode 55. Okay, so for episode 55, which is happening, I believe the 20 something. It's happening on the 20th. The 20th. It's happening on the 20th. So for that episode, I'm curious. What are your thoughts onto what are you expecting out of that episode? What are you most anticipating?
Well, the first thing is I originally thought, Opie, that this would have been an episode where it would just be a little filler thing where the Omni King just pops in. But then I thought about it. They wouldn't bring in the Omni King for no reason. So when I saw him coming into the preview, I felt that he would probably have something important to discuss with Goku. And in saying that, I think that this is going to have something to do more so with the Omniversal Tournament. I don't think this really has anything to really do with Black Goku, because from what we saw in the episode 56 description in the summary, it was saying that the time machine is finally finished and then they go back to the future. So it seems like the events of episode 55 and 56 are completely exclusive from each other. They don't necessarily have anything in common. Like, you can have one event taking place without the other, and it kind of seems like Goku might have some sort of training mission with this Kid Whis looking character, or he could prepare for what the Omni King is looking for, which I think would obviously be the Omniversal Tournament, since the Omni King had mentioned it before during the Universe 6 arc.
And this is why you need to subscribe to this guy, because his analysis is spot on. I actually completely agree with that, where I don't think this upcoming episode is going to be really related to Goku Black. It's going to be more for the Multiverse Tournament. That I agree with that as well. So very good analysis on that. Yeah, I find it interesting. Let me show you a little section. So this is actually not real footage right here. What you see right there, that's like fan made. But okay, so you got the Omni King. Now, the Omni King, he's got this. In the preview, it really shows like there's towers behind him or some pillars. So they're definitely not at Beerus's planet, and they're not at King Kai's planet. They're somewhere more, I would say, godly. I'm not sure what that is. Can you speculate on that?
Well, the interesting thing is, just to add to your points, Opie, if we also go back to looking at the preview, we also saw Goku looking like he's asking the Supreme Kai for permission to do something. So that would imply to me that they're definitely going towards another area, because why would Goku be seeing the regular Supreme Kai of the Universe 7? It's like as if he asks for like a higher level of authority to do something, which is why I personally think this might be a completely different area from what we've seen before with Beerus and Whis.
Correct. Yeah, totally makes sense. And we'll get back to this shot in a moment because a lot of people were confused as to what's going on there. And then there you see the kanji for everything, the Omni King, the king of everything, the king of all, however you want to say it, which is interesting because it's kind of, it sounds very similar to, all right, so this right here, it almost looks like he's on a throne, almost like that Game of Thrones throne, except it's more, there's light coming out of it. I don't know. It almost looks like he's teleporting out of that too. So I found that really interesting. I don't know whether this is a device or this is just like a teleportation device. What do you think?
I think that could just be something of a throne or some sense, or maybe it's some type of a device that's used for deities to kind of transport themselves. But I don't think it's really anything that we could really expect or speculate much about, because it's just something that it seems like he's just enjoying sitting on.
Hey guys, do me a favor. We have around 700 something people on the stream. If you can just do us a huge favor, go on Facebook and just share this video. Let your friends know that Opie Senpai and Qaaman are on a stream right now, and we will really appreciate that. Let's continue on with the clips. All right, so Beerus, I find him an interesting character because at first, when he first came into the series, he was always looking down at people. He's above everybody. You know, he is the god of destruction. But now that he's been hanging out with Goku, it almost seems like the anime is putting them at a playing level. Now, I do think that Beerus is still more powerful than Goku, but the way they're always interacting with each other, they're fighting, they're trying to get each other's food, they're landing on each other. When Whis came back in the previous episode, and then they landed on the floor, and he gets very nervous. It almost seems like he's a little bit jealous of Goku, but he's probably more scared of the fact that if Goku messes up, he's done for. The Omni King could replace him if Goku messes up.
Right. I definitely have to agree with that, bro, because, I mean, the way, and if we even go back to the Universe 6 arc when we saw Champa coming into the picture, the way Beerus and Champa reacted to the Omni King coming, and it's funny because the Omni King wasn't really showing any aggressive tendencies, but when they showed up with, you know, those two guards, he really seemed scared, like as if, you know, he was fearing for his life, and it was kind of funny because all the Omni King wanted to do was just introduce himself to Goku. So I think that this is really interesting to see that Beerus views the Omni King in a very different light from the way Goku does.
Oh man, yeah, I love, and you know, Akira Toriyama, the way he jokes around, his comedy, a lot of people were wondering, like, why is the Omni King, the one above everybody, such like a little kid and has such a cute voice? You know, why is that? Well, this is, Akira Toriyama does this a lot. I mean, you see it in Doctor Slump, and you see it with, why am I forgetting her name? Arali, who's really powerful, but you know, such a young age, so cute, yeah, this I love this character. I wouldn't actually enjoy if the Omni King was this like Beerus type of character. I wouldn't enjoy it as much as I do right now, where he is the most powerful being, but at the same time, he's just so damn funny whenever he comes up. He shows up in the episodes. I can't wait to see him. Now, all right, so this was new footage. By the way, this is new footage that was not shown in the anime, but it was shown on the Fuji Japan website. So
Looks like it's my turn now.
we have a comment. Thank you so much for the donation, man. I really appreciate it. We're gonna get back to your question in a second, but in the meantime, let's just answer this. So Zamasu is giving back the Potara ring to Gowasu. Now, what do you say about that? Why do you think he's doing that, Qaaman?
That's a very interesting thing, and I've always kind of had a theory about Black Goku. So for those who are listening to this, this is kind of going into a video I'm working on right now. First of all, I think the earrings are supposed to, from what I talked to Geekdom, I think he's trying to indicate that he's ascending in the Supreme Kai hierarchy of some sorts, because we already know that Zamasu is some sort of apprentice. And the interesting thing is that Black Goku has a green earring. So maybe this is giving us a sign to what's supposed to be foreshadowed, in the sense that Zamasu is getting closer to completing his training, and many would speculate that in completing his training, he could have, you know, new abilities, newfound powers, or he will find the ability to resurrect Goku or do some type of sort that would lead to Black Goku. So I think this is a step up the Supreme Kai hierarchy, which could definitely lead to a lot more.
Wow, Qaaman, when is that video coming out? Do you have a time frame, maybe in 2 weeks, 1 week, that you can let us know?
Probably for next week, because I have a theoretical video dropping tomorrow.
Oh, dropping tomorrow. Okay, cool. All right, we'll be sure to check that out. And you guys, don't forget to subscribe to Qaaman if you want to see that video, because it's going to be really interesting. And okay, let's move on to this section right here. He gives him the Potara ring. Gowasu takes it. Now, what I've been calling on Gowasu is, and this is not something that a lot of people talk about, but there's a lot of death flags, and a lot of the community, they just focus on Dragon Ball because we have a wide range of people. But in terms of those who are anime fans in general, and who are hardcore anime fans who watch other anime, then you've known about death flags. You notice the little hints of a death flag, which is when a character is pretty much marked to be dead. Now, I do think that Gowasu is going to be killed off in one way or another. I don't know if you agree with that, Qaaman.
I think it's definitely possible, considering the fact that when you look at Trunks' timeline, we don't see anything about Zamasu or Gowasu, and they could be working behind the scenes. But usually in these stories, a lot of times what I've noticed in both Western and Eastern cultures is that the older wise man is almost always circumvented by his, I guess you could say, his inferior, or the person who's supposed to take him over next. Just like in Star Wars, how you have all of those Sith Lords, and all of the Sith Lords are pretty much almost always overtaken by their apprentices. So I think that this could definitely be something that's signing that Gowasu might be near its end. And I think a little bit of a sign, Opie, is when you actually look at the T. Every time that they look towards the T, it would always be facing towards Zamasu, and it might not look like that's saying anything, but you can kind of look at this as a foreshadowing that Zamasu's looking at himself as like the next one, like it's him and a reflection of himself within Gowasu. So I could definitely see that.
Yeah, I can definitely see that as well. That's good analysis that of that reflection. Especially with these cinematic shots, and they always have them side by side. I think it's really good that you point that out, that the younger apprentice kind of takes over the master. And it seems like Zamasu is satisfied with the way he is right now, because in the previous episode, when he was serving the tea and Gowasu drank it, and Gowasu was like, it's bitter. Zamasu kind of stopped for 3 seconds, and then he smiled, and he just sat down. He says prior to the leaves, but it's like he got confirmation that it's not as sweet anymore, that's not as pure anymore. So it's either because he did something to the tea, which I doubted, but it's because he knows that he's turning, he's changing, it's like he's happy with the way he is.
Right.
So here's where it gets really interesting. Oh man, and this is why I love Dragon Ball Super, man. Because just when you don't expect it, you get a brand new character. But it's not just a regular character, but he looks like he's like the little brother of Wiz or something. Like, look at this guy. He really looks like the little brother of Wiz. I doubt that's what it is. But his title, actually, if you look into his belt, and this is something that Herms98 on Twitter translated, but the belt, that's the kanji for grand. So he is the grand of something. Now, what are your thoughts on this guy?
Well, I mean, the interesting thing about all of this is that when you look at this character, not only does he bear a strong resemblance to Whis, but he could also potentially be a character from one of the other universes. And the reason why I'm saying this is that although it was kind of implied that because Universe 6 and 7 are twins, And we already know the rule with the universes that if they add up to 13, they're supposed to be twin universes. That's the reason why Beerus and Champa look so similar. But they didn't completely rule out the other potential fact that this could be, let's say, just a smaller version of a Whis or a Vados from one of the other universes. And obviously, if my theory is correct, that the Omni King could possibly be trying to set Goku up for the Omniverse Tournament, he could be testing Goku's powers against one of the, I guess you could say, Whis race members, or I guess you could say God of Destruction defenders from one of the other universes, and that's definitely something I could see.
Wow, that would be so hype. Now, Mingo, you donated $5 a little bit ago. Based on your question, we will get to it in a few minutes because we're about to get there. So don't worry, I did not ignore your question. It is coming. But yeah, I definitely agree with that analysis, and I'm really excited just to see this guy. I just love the structure. I love the fact that he's wearing something different, and I love the fact that Dragon Ball Super they throw this at our face without explaining anything. It's just a big mystery. The whole Zamasu thing, Goku Black, this character, it's just a mystery. And that's what keeps people hyped and entertained and interested in the next episode. So I really love the way they're doing that. So let's move on to, we got more footage. All right, so he's also wearing this, he's got this triangle. I mean, this is just his clothing. Now, one of the things that I noticed is, and some people agree with me, some people think it's silly, but the first time that the Omni King made an appearance on Dragon Ball Super, actually the next episode, when we actually saw him throughout a full episode, I noticed that the shoes and the clothing is very different than the other characters. But it's like, right, it's divided into different levels where you have Whis, Vados, the Omni King, the attendants. They all wear a particular type of shoe. They all go to the same shoe store, just different colors. But then the God of Destruction and everybody else below them, they have a different type of shoes. It's not the same. Right. And even though that might sound silly, I do think that it's a visual indication that they are a representation of kind of like the hierarchy and the levels that they are. And I do think that Whis and Vados are in the same level, not in terms of power and strength and authority, but they're in the same class as the attendants and the Omni King. It's almost like this higher level that not even the Gods of Destruction are in.
Right.
So all right, moving on.
Well, I think if there's something I could add towards that, it would be the fact that when Zorama was being summoned, Whis had the ability to actually communicate with him, which is telling me that his knowledge might be somewhat omniscient in the sense that he was able to communicate with a holy dragon that required the Super Dragon Balls to activate.
Exactly. Oh man, that was so epic. Another interesting thing, I don't know if you noticed, I'm sure you have, but Beerus, Champa cannot travel through the vacuum of space freely. They depend on their attendants who can freely travel through space. So not even the Gods of Destruction can just travel around, which is something that I found very interesting. Just a little observation. But all right, so his name is Grant. His title is Grant, and then you have a shot of course, Whis, which I love him. All right, so let's answer your question. Mingo asked, do you think one of the Kais is going to unlock Goku's full potential or expand his power cap? All right, so now that we're here, we can talk about that. First of all, what are your thoughts on the Supreme Kai being very, very tiny, apparently?
Well, I actually found that very interesting because it definitely did seem like he shrank somewhat, but I don't really think that could really mean anything. I think that could just be proportions just kind of being skewed, or maybe like they shrunk him for like, comedic effect, because from what I remember, the Supreme Kai was always taller than the Elder Kai, so that's why I found that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I agree. I think this was either an animation mistake or some sort of comedy, but I don't think he actually shrunk. Oh man, but yeah, this is hilarious. So Goku is begging for something. Mingo, I don't think he could be begging to increase his power level. I don't think that's what's happening. I don't think the Kai can really at this point increase Goku's level. Goku has surpassed the Supreme Kai from Universe 7 multiple times, and I really don't think the Kai at this point has really the ability to unlock even further what Goku could. But who might be able to do that is either this new character, this grand, whoever he is, we don't know his name yet. He might have the power to unlock Goku's full potential, maybe preparing him for the Multiverse Tournament. So that is the best answer I can give you. But all right, so now he seems nervous about something. So what could Goku be begging for? What could he be asking for? What do you think?
Well, when I analyze the situation, there could be two things, because we got to think about what Goku really cares about. And if you look at Goku's character over the last few weeks in Dragon Ball, he's definitely been really concerned about increasing his power so he could obviously fight Black. And at the same time, Goku also would want to train on his own will. So to me, what this is asking is that Goku's probably seeking to either participate in the Omniversal Tournament, or he's trying to seek some ability to traverse through potential universes so he could face other characters. I think it would have something to do with training, because Goku never really seems to care much about anything else besides food, training, and, to some degree, his family and others. So that's kind of what I think of it.
I was about to say that. It's especially Goten and his kids, who are kind of irrelevant to him.
Yeah.
Wait, what kids? I have kids? Oh, man. I'm actually...
That's Goku.
That's Goku for you, and that's what we love him. He's just a funny guy. All right, let's continue. This is what I found really interesting. This is new footage that was not shown, again, in the anime, but it was on the Fuji TV website in Japan. And it seems like they're in this jellyfish mushroom type of thing, and it seems like there's people on... Oh, there's characters on it. They're not people, but there's characters on it. It seems like it. Now, I could be wrong, but I do think that this is where they're located, because those little things on the top, those to me are pillars. I think that's where the pillars are, and I think that's how we saw the Omni King earlier, when it looked like he was in front of pillars. There were pillars behind him. I think that's where they are. What do you think?
I mean, I could definitely see that. I think it seems like it's some sort of transportation device, which is why they're traversing the universe to some degree. So I'd probably have to agree with you on that notion.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's really interesting. Now, and I think that's a little bit more footage. Okay, so you got him again. You got the Omni King. You got the attendants, and okay, that's about it. So that's pretty much it for episode 55. Now let's get into talking. Unless do you have any other words to say before we get into episode 56?
No, we're good, bro.
All right, awesome. Episode 56. It's titled. And by the way, episode 56 is happening on August 28th. And it is titled Rematch with Goku Black, Introducing Super Saiyan Rose. Here's the description that we know so far. The description, and thank you to Herms, the description is: the repairs on the time machine are finished. So Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks head to the future. In a ruined future city, the three meet up with the Resistance and run into somebody unexpected. Alright, so let's quickly kind of talk about that. Before we get into the Super Saiyan Rose, though, who do you think this unexpected character is?
Well, I mean, if you really think about it, besides Mai, I mean, it could only be other than Black Goku, but I think it would probably be Mai, because if you were looking at one of the more previous episodes, I believe it was episode 52, when we saw Trunks talking to the present time Mai about like her future counterpart. She was talking about how Mai was leading a resistance. And when you look at the fact that the voice actor for Mai said herself that she would be doing a lot of voice acting this season of Dragon Ball, that tells me that Mai probably survived to some degree. And I think that she's once again kind of recuperating with the rest of the resistance forces.
Now let me ask you, do you want her to survive after all of this? Or do you think she should get killed off for a bigger purpose?
I think she should survive, because I think it gives Trunks a significantly bigger romantic partner. Because if she just dies, then it kind of just makes Trunks' story seem a little too depressing that all of his friends, his mom, and his romantic interest, or therefore, was all killed. I mean, that's a little too dark, even for Dragon Ball standards.
That is pretty damn dark, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oppai Senpai is a little dark in the head, but yeah, I definitely agree with that. Now, by the way, guys, we're not saying that Future Trunks and Future Mai are in a relationship, and I don't think the anime is ever going to address that. But I think they are playing into they're giving us fan service basically, and they are playing with that a little bit because Future Trunks is one of the characters that most girls love him, but he's the only one who's unattainable, who doesn't have a girlfriend. So yeah, I do think that there is something going on there, but they're never going to address it in the anime, or at least not anytime soon. But yeah, so they're gonna meet up with the Resistance. Now I think Goku Black. I think this was gonna happen. I think at the end of episode 55, there's gonna be a teaser, not a cliffhanger, but more of a teaser of Goku Black doing something. Then episode 56. All right, we're gonna go into the future, and how is Goku Black gonna attain Super Saiyan Rose? Which some people call it Super Saiyan Pink, but what we do know is it's called Super Saiyan Rose technically right now.
Well, I mean, I don't think there's enough to say exactly how he's going to attain the form, but my theory is that Goku Black, to some degree or some whatsoever, has some level of Saiyan DNA, whether he's a cybernetic creation of Goku or just using Goku's body himself. I've always been a believer that he has partial Saiyan DNA. And I think that that's definitely going to be something that can aid him into transforming into a Super Saiyan Rose, because how else could he really do it? Like, there really is no other way I can see him doing it unless he had some type of Saiyan DNA.
Exactly. I fully agree with that. Especially if, I don't know if you have the same theory, but I do think that the body of Goku Black is the one who died from a heart virus. I think somehow Zamasu got a hold of that, and that's how you have Goku Black. So I think that's where the body came from. I don't think it came out of thin air or anything like that. But if that is the case, I do think that, yeah, a lot of those, the Saiyan DNA, a lot of those elements that make up Goku, the real Goku, who's dead in the future, were brought into this Goku Black character, like increasing his power level, possibly the heart virus that was possibly hinted at episode 53. And so that's what I believe on in regards to that. In terms of why Super Saiyan Pink, a lot of people were theorizing that Super Saiyan White was gonna be the transformation because of what Akira Toriyama said in an interview with Shonen Jump, V Jump. But he didn't quite say it was gonna be Super Saiyan White. He didn't say it was gonna be white hair. He said the colors will clash. That's why he didn't make Super Saiyan Blue white.
And that created a lot of, that created a lot of false speculation in the Dragon Ball community, because everybody, I was just recently talking to Geekdom about this. What that led to was a lot of people were expecting this to mean that a character is going to have white hair. But what Toriyama was saying is that he didn't want to give it white hair because it would clash with a potential character that he was working on that was upcoming. And a lot of people were saying, oh, well, that means it's going to be the next villain. And that created a lot of false speculation. But what he was really saying is that there was going to be a character who had white hair. And that's completely exclusive to the whole Super Saiyan transformation.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to ever see white hair, but Super Saiyan Rose, I love it. I think it just looks great on screen. I know some people are kind of, why are you doing the rainbow, Akira Toriyama? Like, what's going on here? But I do love the color. I think on paper or on anime form, it looks pretty damn dope. Once we'll see it, because we haven't seen it yet. Besides the leaks from Amazon Japan, Bandai's Amazon Japan, which was real, and also there were posters posted in some stores.
Looks
in
like it's my turn now.
Oh, we got a Big Zill. Have you heard of Big Zill?
No, I have not.
This guy has contributed like almost 20 times throughout the streams. And then
Wow.
I was watching Mastar Media stream, and he contributed there too. So this guy is a big supporter of the anime YouTubers and of the community. So I don't know, you might see him in one of your streams one day. So Big Sil Prime, thank you for the $5 donation. He says, "Good morning to the best Oppai Senpai, man. I will miss another live stream. Shout out to the community. I'll miss you all. Thanks, man. It looks like you have to work, so that's why you're gonna miss the stream. But I totally understand, and hopefully we can catch you the next time, though. All right, so let's continue on to episode 57 because there's really not much we can say on what we know from 56. It's gonna be a good rematch. Oh, I do want to say this. Okay, let me quickly talk about this. So, Dragon Ball Heroes, God Mission 9, I believe, right? God Mission 9. They released a trailer at a convention. Now, this hasn't even been publicly released yet. If you go to their YouTube page or the website, it's not available. So, it's technically being leaked by those who were there. And hopefully the video doesn't get taken down from YouTube. But it showed Goku fighting Goku Black in the future, and Zamasu was watching. Right. Now, keep in mind that Dragon Ball Heroes is not the same as the anime. They're different. But when it comes to spoiling things that haven't happened in Dragon Ball Super yet, and you see it in Dragon Ball Heroes, the anime takes elements from that, not fully, but the two do takes elements from that. For example, when Frost was fighting Goku, Goku was Super Saiyan Blue in Dragon Ball Heroes in the cutscene. Now, obviously, that didn't happen in the anime, but Frost did fight Goku. So, yes, parts of that is going to happen in the anime. But what I'm wondering, though, is Zamasu going to be watching Goku Black in the anime? Or was that purely in Dragon Ball Heroes? That's what I find interesting out of all of this. Because that will give us the answer whether Zamasu is Goku Black or not. And I can't wait. It's going to be exciting. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments right now in the live feed. What do you guys think? Do you think Zamasu is Goku Black, or do you think that they are separate? How close do you think the anime is going to be to Dragon Ball Heroes footage besides the Potara ring? Everything else, how close do you think it's going to be to that? Okay. Now, let's get into episode 57. We don't know the title, but it says, can Goku and the gang defeat Black? Goku finally becomes Super Saiyan Blue and uses his full power against Black. An intense battle unfolds. Okay, so let's talk about this. Initial reactions. To me, what that implies is that episode 56 is going to end with Super Saiyan Rose. Episode 57 is going to force Goku Black, because he's going to get beat up somehow. It's going to force him to, you know what, I got to go full out Super Saiyan Blue. What do you think, though?
I think that's exactly what it is. It's kind of like following the theme of Dragon Ball, where you have one episode that sets up what's going to happen. Then you have one episode that the big thing is going to happen in like the last 2 minutes of the episode, and then you got to wait till the next episode for the actual fight to happen itself. And that's exactly what this pattern seems like it's going to be following.
Oh, damn, we got to wait. Guys, 1,063 people on the stream right now. I want to give you guys a big shout out for over 1,000 people for the past like 10 minutes. We've had over 1,000 people been watching the stream. So really appreciate that. And I have a message for you guys, okay? Very soon, I'm going to be releasing a new song. It's going to be the Goku versus Goku Black theme song, which is also the theme songs from the preview episodes. At the end of the episode, they have the preview. But what I want you guys to do for me, and if you guys do this for me, I'll release the song faster. If you guys go to Qaaman's YouTube page and subscribe, if you guys do that for me, I will release the song tomorrow. Like, seriously, tomorrow. So guys, do me that huge favor and subscribe to Qaaman. I really appreciate that. He's got some awesome content. But episode 57, Super Saiyan Blue. The only thing that I really don't like about this Qaaman is the fact that we just got Super Saiyan Blue. It hasn't been that long. You already have Super Saiyan Rose, apparently. What's next? Like, why can't we just focus on one particular transformation, develop that over time, and then give us new transformations? So that's the only thing that I really don't like.
Well, the thing is, it's just like me, Geekdom, Super Jane, and even Black and Fist were discussing the other day. It has to do with merchandise and toys. And if you think about it, because these companies get so much money when people are constantly buying up all of the toys, they're going to keep doing it because it makes them a lot of money. So really, I think as long as Dragon Ball exists, they're going to keep creating new transformations so that they could sell merchandise for kids, because that's what really drives their financial burden.
that is exactly what drives the, and that's exactly what's gonna lead to more episodes, whether we like it or not. Dragon Ball Super has been confirmed for 72 episodes, but I do think it's gonna go over 100 and beyond because they're gonna continue to make money. And yeah, I'm super excited. Guys, behave in the chat. Let us know what are your thoughts. Any questions you guys have. Now, beyond this, we don't know what's gonna happen. But what we can say is we can speculate on the Multiverse Tournament in terms of what we want to see. So, all right. So here's where we drop off the serious face and we just have fun. All right. So you ready for this, Qaaman?
Go ahead, bro.
All right. So Multiverse Tournament. I would love to see, for the Multiverse Tournament, I would love to see every single tournament represented. I would love to see preliminary. So I kind of want this to last over 12 episodes, maybe over 24 episodes, because each arc has been around 12 to 14 episodes so far. But I would love this arc to be 24 episodes, and I would like them to go to other universes, kind of bring some people over. Other Gods of Destructions to attend. I would love to see the Gods of Destructions from each universes and their attendants to attend the Multiverse Tournament. And guys, keep in mind, Beerus did say that there are some Gods of Destruction who are more powerful than he is. So I do think that there are going to be characters who are even more powerful than Goku. I would love to see that. What are your thoughts? What do you want to see?
I definitely think that's one of the whole reasons why, even if you go back as far as to Battle of Gods, that Beerus was talking about all of the gods from the different universes, because I think that left the door wide open for a lot of plot opportunities. And in doing so, I think this allows us to explore not just the universe of the Dragon Ball world that we know, but other universes. And I think that it's really cool, Opie, that, Dragon Ball has really changed, bro, because if you look at Dragon Ball, it was all about the Earth. And then you look at Dragon Ball Z, and it was more about the universe, because now they go to the Namek, Namek area. And even if you go to GT, they expanded the universe even more. But now with Super, they expanded the different universes. So you've literally gone from Earth to outer space in the universe to different universes. And I think that it's really incredible to see how Dragon Ball just keeps getting bigger and bigger with the worlds that they discuss.
And I'm happy you brought that up, because now the question that people might have is what's next? What's next, right? Once they've gone to every universe and once they have the Multiverse Tournament, okay, what's next? Well, what I find interesting is, how do you say we went from Earth to outer space to multiverse universes? But one of the things that we haven't really done is, what we're starting to do a little bit, is going to different timelines. So we are going to go into the future, right? But as you do know, a time ring is created whenever, the green ones, a new green time ring is created whenever there is a new world, which I think they were referring to basically a new timeline, a new reality created. So I think, or I would love to see us going into other timelines using the different green time rings, because I think that would just expand the universe even more.
Right.
So that's something I would love to see. And I would love to see the Gods of Destruction have like a preliminary fight or something. Because one of the reasons they cannot fight in the universes are, if they fight, they could destroy the universe. But in terms of where the Multiverse Tournament is going to be held, I don't think it's going to be held in any of the 12 universes. I think it's going to be held in like a different type of void in space or dimension, or something where the Omni King, I think we are traveling to the Omni King's place, or where he resides. I could be wrong, but I think that will be epic, because I don't think there's any universe that can really handle that amount of power and sheer strength for multiple characters.
Right. I mean, I definitely have to agree with that, because that's the only way that they could continue to allow the power scaling to keep rising throughout the series. So that's a really good point.
What would you like to be the prize, though? What would be a good prize to encourage people to participate in the Multiverse Tournament?
Oh, man. I mean, well, a wish would kind of be silly, because they've already kind of done that. That's actually a really good question, bro. I mean, what could really incentivize these fighters? Like maybe, I mean, immortality has already been tried. Really, I can't think of anything because Dragon Ball has thought of so many things with, you know, wishes, immortality, all of these selfish things that I just cannot see what something to this magnitude could be. And I'm not even sure if the writers even know.
Exactly. The problem is just like trying to figure it out. Like, damn, what are we gonna do? Yeah, I would like to see. I would love to see the God of Dragons again. I do think. I think a wish. I think was still. I think characters that's still good enough for characters. I mean, the fact that even Hit was compelled to do the Universe 6, Universe 7 tournament, so he can get access to the device that would allow him to travel between universes. So I do think that the immortals, there's enough for them to incentivize them. But yeah, I think a wish or either a new role as a god of destruction or as an attendant or I don't know, something where they can work with the Omni King or just something godly to the next level. I would love to see that. Man, it's gonna be a good series.
Agreed, bro.
Do you have any? We're gonna close it up really soon, guys, and so we're gonna kind of take questions for a few moments, and then we're gonna end the stream. We're not gonna drag this on because we pretty much spoke about every section that we wanted to talk about. And keep in mind, guys, we can't go on forever. We don't have any information. We can only speculate up to so much before it becomes misinformation and it becomes something it shouldn't be. So we give you our theories, what we want to see personally, and now it's time to take some questions. Any questions, guys? We're ready. We're ready for you. Ask us any questions and we'll answer them. And in the meantime,
looks like it's my turn now.
Okay, we got one question from Kira Senpai. Do you think Hit and Goku will have a rematch? Great question. Qaaman, do you want to begin or do you want me to start?
I could definitely see it because the way that the Universe 6 tournament ended, it definitely seemed like they were setting it up for a rematch because that fight ended on a very non-climactic way. So I would definitely have to say that I could definitely see a rematch. However, with this new Universal Tournament going out, I mean, Goku might be faced against a completely new pair of fighters from different universes, and I think it would make it a lot more interesting because it'd be kind of boring just to, have a Universe 6 tournament and then have another tournament with Goku and, fighting against Universe 6 all over again. It wouldn't add anything, so I don't think they will in all likelihood. But if he does have a rematch with him, it'll be outside of a tournament scenario.
I actually agree with Qaaman on this. I'm sorry, guys. I agree with him because think of this scenario. Imagine there's this big hype Goku versus Hit, right? So I mean, they don't start fighting just yet. It's preliminary rounds. Goku fights other characters. Hit fights other characters, so they can lead up to each other. But then Hit gets defeated by somebody. That will completely bring the hype to the next level because then there's somebody even more powerful than Hit. What? So I do think I have to agree with Qaaman on this. It will. I don't think they're gonna be. They won't have the opportunity to fight in the Multiverse Tournament. I think something's gonna happen where we're gonna have a bigger threat. Other characters are gonna take on the spotlight. That would be epic. I would love to see that. And is Broly back? Nope, Broly's not back. Super Saiyan Blue 2. I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon. Super Saiyan Pink is called Super Saiyan Rose from what we know so far. You can go ahead and jump in, Qaaman.
Yeah, I mean, I think the name is silly, but you know what? I mean, they gotta go with something, right?
They gotta go with something. And yeah, this is pretty much it for tonight, guys. Remember, no Dragon Ball Super episode today. And you guys are gonna have to come back another time. But you know what is happening soon? Possibly tomorrow, Qaaman is going to be dropping a video on his channel. And next week, he's going to be dropping a theory video that's going to be very interesting. So I highly recommend you go on the description and subscribe to his channel because there's going to be some good stuff there. Qaaman, can you tell us what your channel overall covers though, besides reviews?
Yeah, I mean, I do some Dragon Ball discussions. I take a while to upload them because they take a lot of time and effort into editing each individual one. But I do a lot of Dragon Ball discussions. I'm actually working on some One Punch Man and some Yu Yu Hakusho stuff. So I try to encompass a lot of facets on my channel, and I like having those big in-depth discussions. So that's pretty much me. I'm a simple guy. You could find me on Twitter. You could find me on Facebook. You could find me on pretty much on the main, social media platforms. So that's pretty much me, and I'm a friendly guy. So
He's a
say
friendly
hi.
guy, and there's over 170,000 subscribers that will agree with that point on his channel. So I definitely highly recommend my audience to go ahead. If you're a fan of me, you're definitely gonna be a fan of Qaaman. I highly recommend you check out his channel. But man, it's been a pleasure having you here. I'm sorry that we couldn't really get into we don't have much information, so this was just more like for fun. But it's been a good time, man. I had a great time.
Yeah, it was awesome, bro. I'd love to be back again for the future in one of these podcasts.
For sure, for sure. And if you guys have any ways that you want us to collaborate, any ideas, let us know. But in the meantime, we're gonna bring the community together. We're gonna support each other. And Qaaman, I hope you have a wonderful day, man. I'm sorry there's no super this weekend, but we're gonna have a special gift for you, by the way, when you reach 200,000 subscribers.
And I'm really enjoying reading some of these comments that we're getting in here. Some of these are some very interesting comments.
People, yeah, people are crazy, bro. Just because you guys asked for it. Oh, there you guys go. I gave it to you. All right, I gave it to you. All right, there you go. I'll do a better dab next time. Yo, Qaaman, it's been a good time, brother. I appreciate it. And I'll catch you in the next one. All right, brother?
All righty, guys. Take care, everyone.
Peace.